Hello, this is Dale Leftwich with RealAgriculture. Today I'm with Joy Agnew. She's the program manager with PAMI. She's here giving a couple talks and talking a little bit about some new technology that she has. How are you doing today?
Warm. It's good. It's a good day today, though. Nice to be outside.
It is very warm. So one of the things that you're talking about is the ability to monitor bins, and we're slowly getting better and better at it. But at the point we are now is most of the monitors have to be tethered. But you're looking at something that doesn't necessarily have to have a string going to it.
Right, and that's sort of the next generation or next evolution of grain sensors, because knowing exactly what's going on inside the bin is so critical for good grain storage management, and investing in these technologies is just an absolute must for producers, in my opinion. So wanting to, I guess, raise awareness and generate some interest in discussion on how these new sensors or new microprocessing technologies and communication wizardry basically can really benefit producers on the farm.
So when we were in at the talk that you gave here this morning, it was really interesting because you actually got us all to just take out our phones and then to open up our phones, and there were several of us, probably 8 or 9 of us in the room, that were able then to monitor from a situation that you had set up.
Right.
Now this is a, what do you call it, a proof of concept, right?
Exactly, yeah. So these sensors were put together with off-the-shelf technology or off-the-shelf components.
Yeah.
So these likely wouldn't be used, or this technology wouldn't be used in a bin, like through an auger, that kind of situation. Right. We just did this purely, I said, to raise awareness and raise discussion or promote discussion about this.
Right.
So this is our little moat, I guess, or this is one of them. This is a black guy.
Okay.
So it's monitoring temperature, humidity, and pressure right now.
Okay.
And it's continually transmitting that to the base station right here. And then I can connect to that base station via my phone to see real-time updates of temperature, humidity, and pressure.
So these are free floating in the grain, so you get a much better distribution than what you would have if you had it tethered to a string down the center or something like that. So this is the first stage, because you're actually, so if you put this in your grain, you would probably screen them out at the end so that you would retain them.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
But you have other ideas about other types of monitors that could be out there.
Yeah, the sensors themselves are basically limitless. Like right now with the tethered sensors, you're limited to temperature and humidity, and that converts that to moisture content. But with microsensors, you can be measuring sound and movement and location and CO2 concentration, and really it's kind of limitless.
So you're talking about having, they're almost like nanobots, so you could describe them like that. So you could put them in your grain like the way that farmers used to put confetti in their grain, and that confetti would go in there and then it would mark grain, and you could then follow but this is a smart confetti, because you could put it in and then it would actually, like one of the fellows who was next to me said something about, well, if somebody steals your grain, you'd know where it was.
Exactly, that's why location would be so critical to monitor as well. Yep.
And then what about in the value chain?
So theoretically, like blue sky thinking, the idea is that these sensors or whatever go into the grain, either in the combine or in the bin yard, and then stay in there until they get to their final end use. So you could be monitoring and tracking location and conditions throughout the entire supply chain theoretically, and that just opens up the door for traceability and a huge realm of possibilities.
Again, you gave another example there, and it was the movie Twister, and you just explained like that was a set of monitors that were then released into an air mass, and then it covered exactly what the air mass. So this is a similar idea where you enter it into the bin, and then if they're cheap enough and small enough, you could have 2,000 or 3,000 in a bin, and that would give you the entire characteristics of the bin.
Yeah, or to a much higher resolution than what's currently done with 6 or 12 sensors that's in the bin. There are other technologies though that are theoretically monitoring the entire bin, but they're much more complex technologies that are probably only feasible for large scale bins. The idea behind these is that they would work with small bins as well, because you put in the number of sensors based on the volume of bin that we decide works the best. That requires a lot of research and development yet, though.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of the information that you develop for PAMI, Prairie Agriculture Machinery Institute, eventually gets onto your website.
That's right. PAMI.ca/storage. We have all kinds of fact sheets and slideshows and just a whole host of information about grain storage and grain storage management.
Okay, well, thank you very much for being with us today, Joy. I look forward to seeing all the stuff that ends up on the website. Thanks for doing this work for us.
Thank you.